and welcome to the latest instalment in my Bass Lick of the Week series. Before we dive into this week's exercise, please like the video, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Okay, so this week's line is a funk groove that's going to be played with the Plectrum, and we're going to be using the A Dorian mode here. And before we do anything else, I'm going to explain the A Dorian mode. So the Dorian mode is the second mode of the major scale. When we're playing an A Dorian mode, we're actually using the notes from the key of the G major scale. So the notes in the key of G major will be G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. So all natural, but including an F sharp. Now, when we're using the A Dorian mode, the second mode of that scale, we're going to be playing all of those notes and beginning and ending on A. So we're going to have A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, and A. That's our A Dorian mode. And really the point of using any of the modes really is to exploit one of their defining characteristics. And the way that we typically think of the Dorian mode is that it's appropriate for use over a minor 7 chord. And we're kind of using it over an A minor 7 sound here. But really to get the full Dorian sound, you want to exploit the defining characteristic of the mode. And that in this case is going to be the raised 6. And that's going to be the F sharp notes. We're going to be using a lot of lines here that concentrate on that make use of that F sharp note, as you'll see as we work through the line. Okay, so the opening 2-beat figure is going to sound like this. So we begin with an open A, and then we play 2 F sharps, and then we're moving to the G, and then we're going to come down onto the E, and that's going to be played on the A string. That's our opening 2 beats of the first bar. We're then going to play a hammer on from the D to the E. And that's happening on the 3rd beat of the bar. Coming towards the end of that 3rd beat, we're going to play a G. Now, because we're playing this G in the final 16th note subdivision of the beat, we're going to be playing that G with an upstroke, like that. That's going to be tied across into the 4th beat of the bar, and then we're going to play it again. Now, when we play it for the second time, we're going to be playing it on the 2nd 16th note subdivision of the 4th beat, and so that's also going to be played as an upstroke. And the reason I'm telling you this is because if you can maintain the sort of correct strokes in the correct subdivisions, you'll always land on a downbeat with a downstroke, which is by far the most comfortable way of using a plectrum. If you divide a quarter note beat up into 4 16th notes, 1 E and A, and apply down, up to those subdivisions, no matter what else is going on, your pick playing will always feel comfortable because you'll always land back on the downbeat with a downstroke. That's what we're aiming to do here. So we're going to finish off this bar with an E, 7th fret of the A string. Okay, that's our first bar, and that really gives us the bulk of the exercise. Now, as we move into the second bar, we're going to do the same kind of thing. Now, this time, that phrase that we have on the 3rd and 4th beats of the bar, rather than being G and E, we're going to move the entire phrase up a 4th. So it's now going to be played on the G string and the D string, and the notes are now going to be C, 5th fret of the G string there, coming down to the octave A on the D string. And we're going to apply the same picking techniques that we talked about for the first bar. Okay. Now, if we think about the kind of background harmony that we've got here, we've got a few other chords going on, but essentially we're playing over an A minor 7 kind of a sound. If you think about the chord tones in an A minor 7 chord, A, C, E, and G, we're really playing those notes quite heavily. So it's a very chord tone heavy line, playing all those notes from the A minor 7, as I say, but we're also highlighting the defining characteristic, or the distinguishing characteristic, if you like, of the Dorian mode, which is that raised 6th degree, the F sharp. When I say the distinguishing characteristic, or the raised 6th, what we're doing really is comparing the Dorian mode to the natural minor scale, because these are both minor scales in effect. And you could really talk about the Dorian mode as being a minor scale, but with a raised 6. That's what we're talking about with this distinguishing characteristic, if you like. Okay, that gives us the first 2 bars of this exercise. As we move into the 3rd bar, you're going to hopefully see, if you're looking at the PDF, that this is exactly the same as the first bar. So this is something that we've done already. And then in the final bar of this exercise, we're going to play this lick. Again, very, very heavy on the chord tones here. We're going to play the C as our first note. We're going to play 4 16th notes here. 3 16th notes on the C. And then our 4th 16th note is going to be moving down onto the A. So you're going to get down, up, and then that final upstroke's coming on the D string there. Like that. That A is going to be tied across into the 2nd beat, and then we're going to come back in on the 2nd subdivision, so we're going to restart our playing with an upstroke. And you can see that puts me back onto a nice comfortable downstroke for the beginning of the 3rd beat. And then we're going to restart that, or repeat that phrase, but a 4th lower. So this time on the G, coming down to the E. There's just a couple of notes on the E when we get there. 3 notes, including the tied note. Like that. So, from the top. Okay, that's it for this week's Bass Lick of the Week. Thanks for watching the latest instalment in my Bass Lick of the Week series. If you'd like to download the PDF worksheet and the audio files for this exercise, just click on the link in the description below. And be sure to head over to basslinepublishing.com to check out my full range of video courses. Okay, I'll see you next week for another bass groove.